Hey there YouTube, how you doing? It's your guy Nick Diaz, and I am back with another Gematria video. This Gematria video is going to be focused on rig sports, and just showing you how sick and twisted the world of rig sports can be once you see through that lens of Gematria, which lets you see through the sports and how they are scripted together perfectly with the news, the media, and unfortunately sometimes deaths of athletes. You can see how if you use this code of letters and numbers, which I'm going to explain to you right now, you can actually see who's going to win games before they happen and win some pretty significant money on this. So what Gematria is, it's a numerical code. It's basically the practice of coding numbers into words. It comes from Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, which states that God created the world by merging the letter with the number with the word. So how it works is you have these four base ciphers: alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the reverse alphabetic order, and the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. All four of these ciphers are very important to this study, and they let you see through truly the mockery that is our world and our news and our government every single day. You see how they just put numbers in your face with certain headlines, with certain stories, even though they don't make really much sense. Why they're there, why it's so important that that number is there when it is. This is why. And what it is you basically take each letter in the 26-letter alphabet and assign a number to it, or you convert that number to a single digit if it is 10 or greater. So that's why I'm going to show you right now. So in this first green cipher, English ordinal, it's just alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, and then C is 3, all the way up to Z, which is 26. In this blue cipher here, you just convert each letter to a single digit number. So A is still 1, B is still 2, and then C is also still 3, but like how I showed you Z is 8 in that cipher because 2 plus 6 is 8. Z is the 26 letters, so 2 plus 6 is 8. And then this green cipher, right here, Z is 1 because in this cipher you just flip the alphabetic order in reverse and you make Z1, and you count all the way back to A being 26. And then this cipher right here is making those numbers a single digit number. Okay? So alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the reverse alphabetic order, and the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. These four ciphers can literally open up your third eye. They can open up your eyes to everything that's going on, and they can let you see through everything that you know is wrong in this world. I know, whoever's listening to this, I know that you know something's wrong. You know that something's wrong in this world because things aren't right. Things just aren't right in this world, and that's why you're here, and that's why I hope to reach more people, and I want to show you why things aren't right in this world, because the ruling people, the people who have set up these sports leagues since the beginning, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the people who have the power and the organization to do this, they obviously got this esoteric knowledge from the Catholic Church, who got it during the Crusades when they went to Babylon and the biblical lands, because this whole code is biblical, goes back to ancient Babylon. And after the Crusades ended, once the Crusades ended and they brought all this esoteric occult knowledge to the Catholic Church, the Jesuit order and the Freemasons were founded. And they were obviously founded before this country began, and they were here before this country was founded. The people who founded this country were Jesuits and Freemasons, obviously. And, according to the history books, the Freemasons were founded in 1759, and I want to show you how specific that was. They were founded or dissolved. Let me see. 1717, right. So, okay, that's what happened. So, Mason, that's right. So, I just had to do a little bit of recollection. So, they were founded in 1717 and they were dissolved in 1759. I want to show you how important both of those things were. So, if you write out the word Mason, it equals 17, like how they were founded in 1717, right? So, they're founded in 1717. Mason equals 17 in this language of numerology, right? If you write out Freemason as a word, Masonry as a word, it equals 59. And if you look up when they were dissolved, let me see if it'll show me when they were. They were dissolved in 1759, exactly 17 years before the United States was founded. So another perfect ritual, founded in 1717, Mason equals 17, right? And then if you write out Freemasonry as a word, it equals 59, like how in 1759 they were supposedly dissolved, and then 17 years later, the United States of America is founded, right? Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. But going back to the people who founded this country, another number that they're fixated on is 56, because, again, the people who set up this country are the Society of Jesus, who are the Jesuit order. That's just another word for them. But think, I spelled it wrong probably. Think of how many people signed the Declaration of Independence. 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, right? So when you look at who actually signed the Declaration of Independence, all these people were Freemasons or Jesuits, right? George Washington was the most significant one of these Freemasons, right? He had 74 generals and 33 of them were Masons, right? That's a nod to Jesus in this language of letters and numbers, because Jesus died at age 33, and if you write out the word Jesus in Gematria, it equals 74. Right, Jesus equals 74, cross equals 74, cross equals 74, Masonic equals 74, right, Gematria equals 74, right, Gematria also equals 38, and then there's that band Slipknot out there who have the song Gematria, the killing name, on their album All Hope Is Gone, and then right after they released that album, their bass player Paul Gray dies at the age 38, right, look at this, right, Paul Gray dies at age 38, Paul Gray is 38, his nickname in Slipknot was The Pig, which equals 38, he died 46 days after his 38th birthday. He died 46 days after his 38th birthday. Slipknot equals 46. Their first big hit song was Wait and Bleed, which equals 46. Right, 46 is a sacrifice number, because if you write out sacrifice, it equals 46. Just like how JFK was killed at age 46, the first ever Catholic president, and if you write out Catholic, it equals 46. Right, Catholic equals 46 and 35, like how JFK was number 35, killed at age 46, and he was the first ever Catholic president, right? The second Catholic president was Joe Biden, number 46, who became number 46 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, right? The first publicly Jesuit Pope, right? So all of these rituals happen, and they're just significant. Those are just the surface level ones. I want to talk about sports and how they rig the sports, because they obviously rigged the games. All the games that you see on your TV, they're predetermined, written out on a piece of paper. I know that that's a crazy thing to consider, but it's what happens, and I have the evidence to prove it. Okay? So this year, Super Bowl 55. Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl, becoming 7-3 in Super Bowls, right? His 10th Super Bowl appearance, right? All that stuff matters because it was Super Bowl 55, right? And 55 is the 10th triangular number and the 10th Fibonacci number. What both of those things mean is, when I mean triangular number, I mean if you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55, and then Fibonacci numbers are 1 plus 1 plus 3. It's a sequence of adding one previous number to get a perfect sequence, right? And 55 is the 10th number in that sequence, right? And if you write out Satan as a word, let me show you this right here. You write out Satan as a word, it equals 55 and 10. Satan is represented by the GOAT, or the Baphomet, right? And Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, becoming the GOAT in Super Bowl in Florida, right? Let me write out GOAT for you for this perfect ritual, right? GOAT's 43, like how at age 43 he became 7-3 in Super Bowls. 4 plus 3 is 7, right? LV, the Super Bowl that he did it in, LV LV breaks down to 7, right, at age 43. Something else that's humongous about that is that 7 and 3 is a lot like 73, which is the 21st prime. So if you think about it, Tom Brady became 7 and 3 in Super Bowls in the year 21. That's how perfectly scripted it is. Tom Brady became 7 and 3 in Super Bowls in the year 21, a lot like 73, which is the 21st prime. You know how perfectly scripted every single Super Bowl has to be that he's played in to get it to exactly there for him to be 7 and 3 in Super Bowls in the year 21. It's not just that though, right? It's not just that. So look, from the date of Tom Brady's birthday, which is August 3rd, 2020, he was actually born in the year 77. That's something I'll touch. You add 188 days to his birthday. It's February 7th, 2021, which was the Super Bowl. 188 is the 43rd prime number, I believe. Hold on one second. Wait. Am I incorrect or there it is. That's what it was. All right. So this was a perfect greatest of all time ritual that I just had to refresh myself on. So, right. So greatest of all time equals 188, and this game was 188 days after Tom Brady's 43rd Super Bowl. The abbreviation for greatest of all time is GOAT, G-O-A-T, and GOAT's 43. Like how, again, at age 43, he became 7 and 3 in Super Bowls. I just have to show you this, man. This is hilarious. He became 7 and 3 in Super Bowls at age 43, right? Like how Florida equals 43. Does football also equal 43? I have to see because I know football equals 80. Yeah, if football equals 43, Florida equals 43. Tom Brady becomes 7 and 3 in Super Bowls at age 43, playing for Florida in Florida. Right, perfect ritual. He kept Patrick Mahomes on 6 and 2 wins, in the playoffs. Right, he kept Patrick Mahomes on 6 and 2. Patrick Mahomes is 62. He's going to win the Super Bowl next year. He's probably going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, who just signed Dak to that 4-year contract, right? He wears the number 4, and for $66 million guaranteed. That Dak, man, he sacrificed his mom and his brother the day of one of the NFL drafts. I think it was his last NFL draft. His mom and his brother both died. Right, and for his big contract for the season, right? He gets this big injury, right? And then all of a sudden Jerry wants to give him the money, right? Well, think about it. Who in their right mind would want to actually give Dak a big contract? He's a horrible quarterback. He can't make any of the throws. Andy Dalton was out there making better throws than him once he went down. Anyways, anybody in their right mind would not sign Dak to a contract unless it was completely scripted, right? So think about it. Patrick Mahomes. He became 6 and 2 and he became 6 and 2 in the playoffs with a loss to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Let me show you this. See, look at that. Buccaneers equals 62. Tampa Bay Buccaneers equals 62. And then they kept Patrick Mahomes on 6 and 2 wins in the playoffs, right? Tampa Bay is also wait. What happened? What was I going to show you? Oh, well, there's something else I can show you right now. So if you add the greatest, if you add the to the greatest of all time, it's 319. Think of what the score of the Super Bowl was, 31-9, right? They kept. That's another 83. So you see how football equals 83, and Tom Brady's born on 8-3. When Tom Brady threw his 3 touchdowns to make the score 31-9, he scored 38. He registered 83 of career postseason touchdowns, right, against Patrick Mahomes, right? 83. Football's 83. Florida's 38, which is the reflection of 83. But again, Tom Brady's born on 8-3, and oh man. And in a little bit, I'm going to talk about some of the sacrifices. But look at this. The greatest of all time is 112. And if you consider him becoming the greatest of all time this game, Chiefs is 112. Chiefs is 112, and he became the greatest of all time if you consider it against the Chiefs. Oh, and something else considering the 38. This game was on the 38th day of the year. 2/7 is the 38th day of the year. right? And this was just one Super Bowl. This is just one Super Bowl, right? One rigged Super Bowl. 55th Super Bowl. 55th Super Bowl all time, but the 51st of the modern era, right? That's why it was in Tampa, because Tampa's 51. It was 37 days before the Royal Rumble. Wait, no. 66 days. Was it 66 days? I think it was 66 days before the Royal Rumble, which was on 3/7. Let me show you this. Excuse me. Let me see. 66 days is 3/7. No. Sorry if you hear all that laughing. I have a bunch of family home today. It was 28 days. 28 days but 4 weeks exactly until the 37th WrestleMania, which was in Tampa, right? Think about that. The 37th WrestleMania, which was in Tampa, right? Buccaneers. Let me show you that again. Buccaneers is 37. They won Super Bowl 37 against the Raiders. The all-pirate Super Bowl, the year that Pirates of the Caribbean is the biggest movie at the box office, right? The jokes that they play, right? The things that people don't even consider, right? Look at that number 91. I'm going to talk about that number 91 right now because that has to do with the Lightning's Stanley Cup that they just won, right? So the Lightning, think about what happened last year with the weird weather, right? The weather was so bizarre last year, right? San Francisco had some of the worst lightning storms in its history 44 days before the Tampa Bay Lightning hoisted the Stanley Cup, right? Let me show you this perfect ritual, right? So Lightning equals 44, and 44 days before the Tampa Bay Lightning hoisted the Stanley Cup over the Dallas Stars, San Francisco had some of the worst lightning storms in its history that day, right? And then 44 days later, the Tampa Bay Lightning get their 91st playoff win against the Dallas Stars. Look at this, and look at what happens if you write out Tampa Bay Lightning as a word. Tampa Bay Lightning equals 91, like how they got their 91st playoff win over the Dallas Stars, right? And if you write out, look what happens. So look what happens. So last year was the 103rd season of the NHL, right? And 103 is the 27th prime. Dallas Stars equals 27. Dallas Stars equals 27, and in the year of the 103rd NHL season, 103 is the 27th prime. The year of the 103rd NHL season, the Dallas Stars go to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? They didn't advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they advanced to the Western Conference Finals on September 4th, 4/9. Look how Dallas equals 49. And I think if you something else that's actually interesting is if you add 4/9 together, it equals 13. Dallas also equals 13. Let me see what else I can tell you about that. Oh, big, right. So Tampa Bay Lightning equals 179. They advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals on 17/9, beating the New York Islanders. I saw this happen once I saw them set the schedule up. I saw that happen. I was like, oh, look at that. Game 6 of the series is on 17/9, and that's the day that they can advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, because 17/9 is a lot like 179, which was obviously the Tampa Bay Lightning number. And just think about it. As soon as Tom Brady shows up, TB, he shows up in Tampa Bay, all of a sudden they become the best sports team in the world, right? The biggest sports team outside of LA right after Kobe died, right? And I'm going to talk more about LA because I think that they can win they can win this NBA Finals and this World Series probably, and probably the next NBA Finals and the next World Series. But I'm gonna break down both of those things right now. But back to hockey and back to this. So yeah, TB shows up and automatically the Lightning, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Tampa Bay Rays are against the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers close them out with 27 pitches. Hilarious, right? The last inning of the World Series, which ended 4-2 on the anniversary of Jackie Robinson's funeral. Right, Jackie Robinson, who wore number 42, and if you write out Jackie as a word, it equals 42. Right, And yeah, right. And then Chadwick Boseman's dead at age 42 this year, even though all the mainstream media articles the day that he died changed the date that he died from 42 to 43. Right? Who does that? Who changes somebody's year of death from just because, right? Because they're hiding it, because they made it too obvious that the guy who played number 42 in the movie number 42 died at 42, right? And then 42 is unfortunately a number that connects to Black history. In some ways, a lot of derogatory terms towards African American people connect to 42, such as the word bus, such as the words, I think slave equals 59, yeah. Bus equals 42. Think of all the Black history on the bus. Martin equals 42. Cosby Show equals 42. Just a huge list of things that equal 42 that connect to Black history, right? 42 is also a number that connects to the Jesuits. But again, I'm gonna just so I do want to show you something from a movie that came out a couple of years ago. Hopefully, I can show this without getting my video taken down when I put it up. But this connects to Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup. Not winning the Stanley Cup, but winning the Super Bowl. There's a movie that came out about George W. Bush and his presidency, and about Dick Cheney, more specifically Dick Cheney. It's called Vice, and it's by Adam McKay, who did The Big Short. But at the end of this movie, there's an end credit scene where there's like a group of I don't know what, like a focus group, I would call them, and there's a guy in the shot, and he has a Tampa Bay jersey with the number 19 on it. And I want you to see this, and then I'm gonna break it down for you. Right? Just look at the guy. You can't.
Sorry to interrupt, but Mark wanted to share something with everyone.
Something's been bothering me this whole movie, and I just figured it out. The whole thing's liberal. It's got a liberal bias.
Interesting. Does anyone else feel that way? 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all facts, right? I mean, they had to vet all this with a lawyer. How does that make it? What's liberal?
You would say that libtard.
But, okay, I'm sorry. So
you see the guy with the Tampa Bay jersey. I don't know if you can tell, but it's the number 19 jersey. It's the number 19 jersey for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? So that's important for a number of reasons, because one, 19 years before 2021 was 2002, right after 2001, where the Patriots automatically became the greatest team in the NFL right after 9/11 and the Patriot Act, right? 9/11 happens, and then 2 or 3 days later, Drew Bledsoe, number 11 for the Patriots, gets sacked by the New York Jet and breaks his leg. Think about it. Number 11 gets sacked by the New York Jet, just like how the Jet hit the World Trade Centers in New York that look like giant 11s, right? And then Tom Brady takes over, and then the Patriot Act kicks in, and automatically all of our freedoms are automatically put online, because everything that's public or everything that was private is now public information, because the government needs to catch a boogeyman, a guy in a cave, right? The 19 hijackers that were sent back, all right, the 19 hijackers, right, that were supposedly on the planes that ran into the Pentagon, right? That crashed into a field in Pennsylvania but left no debris or luggage, right? That crashed into the Pentagon but left a hole the size of a bomb, right? Those people, those 19 hijackers, right? And then the dancing Israelis who were sent back to Israel because they were arrested in New Jersey for documenting the attacks that day. Like, they knew they were going to happen, and they were sent back to Israel because of the footage that they had, right? Just the mockery. But think about it. So 19 years before 2021 was 2002, and what happened in 2002 was Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams, the team from Missouri, right? Just like how 19 years after that, he would beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the team from Missouri. Right, and then the day of Super Bowl 55, you get the death of Leon Spinks, famous boxer who famously kept Muhammad Ali on 55 career wins. Right, he's dead the day of Super Bowl 55. This number 44 is also really important, because if you write out kill, it equals 44. Oh, so much stuff you can talk about with this. Just this one Super Bowl. This is one Super Bowl, and I could talk about more. Last year was Super Bowl 54, and who died right before Super Bowl 54? Kobe Bean Bryant. And what happens if you write out Kobe Bean Bryant as a word in Gematria? it equals 54, right? Dead right before Super Bowl 54. If you take away the bean, it equals 41 and 157, right? Kobe Bryant died 157 days after his 41st birthday in Los Angeles or LA, where he played most of his career, right? LA is 41. LA is also 40. 41's the 13th prime. And LA is also 13. LA's 13 and 14, like how the Los Angeles Kings won the Stanley Cup in the year 13-14 that season, right? The Kings win the Stanley Cup over the New York Rangers. Excuse me. Right, but look, if you write out LA Kings as a word, it equals 116. They won their first Stanley Cup on June 11th, 116, right? And then their second Stanley Cup in the year 14, like how LA equals 14. Something else that's really interesting is they won that Stanley Cup, the 2014 one, 4-1 over the Los Angeles Rangers, and LA is not the Los Angeles Rangers, the New York Rangers, and LA is 41. But I want to get to this. I do want to talk about this Stanley Cup, the 104th season, but the 103rd Stanley Cup. All right, there are two teams that I like. One of them is the Washington Capitals, and the second is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I really, really like the Washington Capitals, but if the Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup, then it's probably written in stone that the Toronto Blue Jays will play the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series, because it's the 117th World Series, and if you write out Toronto as a word, it equals 117, and if you write out Los Angeles Dodgers, it equals, if you write out Dodgers, it equals 117. Something else that's crazy is look at the overlap. Look at the gematria of Dodgers, and then look at the gematria of Toronto. It's almost, I think it's exactly the same, just in different ciphers. It is. It's 17. It's 117, 36, 72, 36. Toronto's that's Toronto's gematria, and then LA Dodgers gematria is 72, 36, 117, 36. So wouldn't it make a lot of sense if Toronto wins this Stanley Cup, because Game 7 of the Stanley Cup is July 15th, 2021, and from that day to the day that the World Series starts is 103 days, and this is the 103rd Stanley Cup Finals. That's why I like Toronto. Oh, something else that I liked about Toronto is that Maple Leafs equals 54. See how Maple Leafs equals 54? 54 is a really important number to the Jesuits, because if you write out if you write out just Jesuit order, who again are the people who operate on behalf of the Catholic Church, who find themselves as a military agenda, the Jesuit order equals 54. It's been 54 years since the Maple Leafs won a Stanley Cup, right, in 1967, right? 67 plus 54, that's 2021, right? Then something else that I like about that is that they can win their 7th title this year. This year could be a lot about this year is going to be a lot about 7, I think, because if they don't win their 7th, look for them to go to a Game 7 or a Big 7, because look, Tom Brady already got his 7th ring in the year 21, and that's a big connection to Saturn, who's the keeper of time. Saturn equals 21 and 42, and Saturn has 7 rings. So look for Saturn to have a lot of 21 rituals to happen with Saturn, or the number 7 this year, because look, there's already been a lot. Look at Daft Punk. They broke up, right? They started in the year 93, right? Saturn equals 93. They started in the year 93, and then 28 years later is the year 21, and in the year 21, they break up. Right, and they have that big music video where the man in the gold helmet and the man in the silver helmet are in the desert, and then the man in the gold helmet blows up with the timer that counts down all the way to the number 56, and then after 56, he blows up, right? And then 56 is a number, is just... Coronavirus is 56. Toilet paper is 56. Think about the toilet paper and coronavirus, right? Just think about the symbolism of toilet paper, and think of something else that's happening right now, right? The power outages in Houston, right? So I gotta show you guys something, right? So the power outages in Houston, right? They have all to do with this one thing and this one album, which is called "What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down." What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down by Public Enemy, which came out on September 25th, 2019, which was 56 days after Chuck D's birthday, which is the lead guy in freaking Public Enemy. But look at this cover of the album. So in the background is the desert. That is Arizona in the background, right? And something really important that concerns is that Public Enemy, if I'm not mistaken, was founded in New York. Let me see here. Dun, 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 Yeah. So look, Public Enemy, founded in New York. They have this album, What You're Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down, that has Arizona in the background. All right, that's important for a number of reasons, but I want to explain one. I didn't this one. I got this from my guy Zachary K. Hubbard over at his channel Gematria Effect News Sports, Gematria Effect News 21, whatever you want. Just look up Zachary K. Hubbard. He's an amazing, brilliant guy. He informed like his YouTube channel that there was Janet Napolitano. She was a lady. She was, I believe, she was a judge in New York. She was a Supreme Court justice in New York. She had something to do with New York. She was a very big political figure in New York, but she was originally from Arizona, right? And she resigned from wherever she worked in 2013, stating that the government was preparing a new 9/11, and that 9/11 was going to be the power grid going down because of cyber hackers. Right, and obviously when she said cyber hackers, she didn't mean real cyber hackers. She meant the people who are going to take down the power grid, the government, the people who really control everything, right? But think about it. She's from Arizona, but she spent most of her political time in New York, just like how Public Enemy's from New York, and they have this album which is about the government basically shutting the power grid down with Arizona in the background. And think about the team in the World Series, the two teams in the World Series right after 9/11 in 2001. It was New York and Arizona, right? The Diamondbacks faced the Yankees in 2001 right after 9/11. And look what happens if you write out New York and Arizona in Gematria. See how New York equals 39? Arizona equals 39, right? These two teams meet in the World Series right after 9/11, right? And think about this. Think about this even further. Who did New York face before they played Arizona? Even closer to 9/11, it was Seattle, right? And Seattle, many people don't know this, but the firm Magnus and Clementi Associates, who built the World Trade Centers in New York, were from Seattle. Right, so Seattle and New York have this connection. So think about it. New York beats Seattle, just like how the Magnus and Clementi Associates build the World Trade Centers, and then they fall in New York. So New York makes Seattle fall, and then Arizona beats New York right after 9/11, right, in a perfect ritual. But think about it. So the power grid is foretold to be going down in this album, which came out 56 days after the lead guy's birthday, right? And just think about it. Houston got the worst snowstorms in probably their history, not their history, but in their recent history. It's never been that cold there. It doesn't get that cold in Houston, right? And just think about it. What is the worst thing that they could do to us right now, on top of all of the mandations, all of the hysteria, all of the protests, everything? What could be even worse than that? Them turning the power off for a long period of time, right? And think about it. Just consider that their whole goal, their whole game, the people who run this, their whole goal is to have us divided. Because when we're divided, we're easily controlled. Because when we are divided, we're angry at a certain group, and that certain group may not be necessarily the people we need to be fighting against, or not even really fighting at all. We need to band together and work against the people who are actually forcing us apart instead of pushing us together. We need to push ourselves together in order to beat this system, and realize that there aren't two sides of a political agenda. There needs to be really no politics at all. Governing of yourself. Just governing of yourself and taking care of what you need to take care of. Having no ruling society and having the people being able to take care of everything. That's what you need. But who knows? Maybe that's already happening. I don't want to sound like one of those hippies on South Park. You know what I mean? Those hippies on South Park who just do a bunch of drugs at the hippie festival and just talk a bunch of nonsense, even though they sound profound. I don't want to be that guy. I want to just really inspire change and show people that the people who run this country do not have our best intentions in mind. They don't want us to find out what they're really up to. They don't want us to be healthy. They want us really under their thumb, enslaved and thinking how everybody thinks and not having individual thought and not having personal freedom, even though they make it look like you do have personal freedom. The more you look at what that personal freedom is, it's very minuscule when you think about it. Can't really go out in public and do whatever you want, really, because can't go out and just, do whatever you want, like how people say. You have to really be careful and watch yourself, especially today, in today's society where everything is on camera, especially post 9/11, post the Patriot Act. But it's a real sad place when you can't really just talk freely about ideas and just having friendly conversations with people, not even getting angry with them, just talking about a different point of view. You know what I mean? I'm trying to understand a different point of view and something that maybe is insane at the time, but will save your life, will truly save your life. Because look, this knowledge pays dividends. If you can see who's going to win the games before they happen, you can win some serious money. That's why I seriously suggest you look out for the Lakers this year. Look out for LeBron James to go 5-6 in the NBA Finals, because look at this. He can go 5-6 in the NBA Finals. He's probably going to beat the Nets. He's going to beat the Nets and become 5-6 in NBA Finals, just like how in the 56th NBA season, Kobe Bryant beat the New Jersey Nets, who are now the Brooklyn Nets, right? So look at what a perfect ritual, and we all know that Kobe and LeBron are perfectly synced up with each other. That's why the night before Kobe died, LeBron James passed him for points scored all time in Philadelphia. And when you go back and look at that play, he scored 54 points. Right? It was 54-81. You go back and look at that. You go back and look at when LeBron James broke Kobe Bryant's points record on January 25th, 2020 against Philadelphia, where his dad used to play. Right, and you look at the score. The score was 81-54. Look at what happens if you write out Kobe beating Bryant. 54-81, right? So, and then something else that's really interesting about Kobe's death is that if you write out Bryant, it equals 26-37, right? He's dead. He was dead on the 26th of January, the 26th day of the year, and on the 37-year anniversary of the death of Bear Bryant, who died in the year 82. And I have to show you this. I have to show you this right now, man. Was it 82 or 83? Oh, it was 83. I apologize. He was dead on the 26th day of 83, and he's also remembered for being one of the greatest college football coaches ever. Football's 83. Oh, it's just unbelievable how deep the rigging goes. It's years. It's truly years. It takes just sometimes years for these rituals to happen. Oh, and something else to consider is 19, going back to that number 19 in the Tampa Bay and the Tom Brady, right? The season after Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, Tampa Bay wins their first Super Bowl, right? And Tampa Bay wins their first Super Bowl in the year 2003, the year we go to Iraq. But if you think about it, they won for the 2002 season in the year 23, right? Another 19-year connection to 2021. Excuse me. But when Tampa Bay beat Green Bay, they beat them 31-26, 57 points, right? 57 is a championship number. Whenever you see a 57 connection come up, just look for it, because look, if you write out 57 as a word, it equals 131. If you write out championship as a word, it equals 131. If you write out Super Bowl, It's 131. And Super Bowl is also 41. I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this because I love talking about rituals, man. I love doing it. I love talking about rituals. So in 2018, right before Super Bowl 53, the Boston Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series 4-1 with Chris Sale, number 41, closing him out, right? That's important because when they closed him out on October 28th, 2018. If you October 28th, 2018, from that day to the Super Bowl that year, which was on February 4th, and was the night which was to conclude the 99th NFL season, was 99 days perfectly, right? So numbers 41, Chris Sale closed out Los Angeles playing for Boston, just like how Boston beat LA in the Super Bowl when Tom Brady was 41 years old. You get me? He became 6-3 in that Super Bowl, but more importantly, he got his 307th win all time in He got his 307th win all time in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which equals 307, right? In Super Bowl 53, which had the least amount of points scored in any Super Bowl, 16, right? 13-3, 16 points in 53. Perfect ritual. Oh, right. That's even better. I totally forgot about that, right? So Tom Brady got his 307th win all time in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, becoming 6-3 in Super Bowls, right? And then 307 is the 63rd prime number, just like how 63 is a lot like 63. So you see that? You see how every single game needs to be perfectly synced up for Tom Brady to win, just so that Super Bowl 53 could be, just so that he could get his 6-3 Super Bowl win on his 307th win all time. You see that? You see how every single win needs to be perfectly scripted so that he gets his 63rd, he becomes 6-3 in Super Bowls. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how they do it, but they do it. They make the outcome exactly what they need to do. Man, it's truly unbelievable what they can do, because again, just thinking about how you have to get 11 people on a full team of athletes to cooperate in these rituals and get them to go through, and when they don't go through, you have a referee there to throw the flag and make up a baloney call. Right, and this is in every sport. And you have certain cases, and there's the NBA. The guy, Tim Donaghy, he blatantly said that he rigged the games. He rigged the games so that he won in gambling. And you don't think that every single ref is doing the exact same thing? Even if it's not for gambling, they're doing it to ensure the outcomes. Because Vegas always wins, baby. Vegas always wins. And that's what I want you to see, that Vegas can lose. You can make Vegas lose. And I made Vegas lose. A bunch of people made Vegas lose. You know what I mean? And right after we made Vegas lose, winning the Super Bowl, the guy I mentioned, Zachary K. Hubbard, he got his channel banned. You know what I mean? Google censors, and you can't really talk about this. I can talk about this because I really don't have many people watching my videos. But if I had thousands of people watching my videos, I guarantee I'd be censored. And you know what? I don't care, because this knowledge is too important not to be talked about. It's so unbelievable what they do every single day, and how people just blatantly ignore or choose to ignore it. But I'll leave you with this. All right? The Jesuit order. See this 201? You see that 84? Jesuit also equals 84, but you see this 201? The first publicly Jesuit pope is Jorge Mario Bergoglio. 201. He stays in the Domus Sancti Marte in the Vatican. How do I spell it? I always F up when I try to spell Domus Sancti Marte. Domus Sancti Marte. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see this. Yeah, he stays in the Domus Sancti Marte, which equals 201. Let me see what else. Event 201 was the coronavirus simulation, which happened the exact same day as the Military World Games in Wuhan, China, where apparently this coronavirus came from. But something else with this 201. The moon landing happened on the 201st day of the year, August 19th. Wait, was it August 19th? I know it happened on the 201st day of the year. Apollo 11, July 20th. I have to show you this. I have to show you that July 20th is the 201st day of the year, man. See that? See that? The moon landing happened on the 201st day of the year, and then when you go back and look at the first guy to step on the moon, what's his name? Neil Alden Armstrong. What do you think his name equals? Just take a big fat guess, you guys. Big fat guess. What Neil Alden Armstrong equals the first guy to step on the moon? 201 and 84. Just like Jesuit is 84. Just like the Jesuit order is 201. And you try to tell me that they're not behind this? You try to tell me that they're not. You know what I mean? It's just they even have our conspiracies down. I have to leave you on. Figure out conspiracy is a word. It equals 51. Think of area 50. Right? Conspiracy is a word. It equals 51. Think of Area 51. Supposedly Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing and admitted to it in The Shining. That's why when Danny Torrance stands up, he has the Apollo 11 sweater on with the rocket blasting up. But and why Stanley Kubrick changed the room number from 217 in the book to 237 because the moon is exactly 237 miles from Earth. But he supposedly shot the moon landing footage at Area 51. A big conspiracy, right? Conspiracy's 51, Area 51. I just have so much I have to talk about. Fucking the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup. The Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup over the Vegas Golden Knights in 2018 in their 44th season of play on 7/6 June 7th. Right. June 7th, 7/6. Washington Capitals equals 76. DC, where they play, equals 47. Washington Capitals equals 211, the 47th prime number. NHL equals 47 as well. That's why I think Washington. I want to show you just why Washington Capitals might win the Stanley Cup this year. So my second pick to win the Stanley Cup after Toronto is the Washington Capitals because look, it's the 104th NHL season. Washington Capitals is 104. DC, where they play, is 47. NHL equals 47. And the same side for NHL is 47. NHL is also 11, which is really interesting. But yeah, NHL is 11. Washington Capitals is 211, which is the 47th prime number. See this 211 right here? The 47th prime. But the NHL shortened their season because of coronavirus. Look at this. See how coronavirus is 56? The NHL shortened their season because of coronavirus to 56 games, right? And Washington D.C. is 56. And not only is Washington D.C. 56, but they have, I think, one of the only 56-year-old head coaches in the NHL, which is Peter Laviolette, who won his only Stanley Cup beating Edmonton, right? Edmonton's remembered for having Wayne Gretzky there, and who did Wayne Gretzky just lose? His father, right? And in history, who did Wayne Gretzky beat to go to one of his big rig Stanley Cup finals that he would lose? Toronto, right? So if Toronto goes to the Stanley Cup, they have two connections to Gretzky because Gretzky beat them, right? And I don't know if Toronto. I'll tell you one thing: if Toronto wins the Stanley Cup, for sure, put your money down that that it will be Los Angeles and Toronto in the World Series because of just that 117 connection. That's just where they're going. And if the Dodgers win this World Series, look for them to play the Angels in the 118th World Series because look, Los Angeles, California is 118 for the 118th World Series. Wouldn't it be so perfect for an all LA World Series for the Dodgers and the Angels, who called themselves the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Let me look at the Gematria now. It's interesting. What else was that? What else did I want to say? Oh yeah. If you wanna put in an early Super Bowl pick for next year, I really like Patrick Mahomes beating the Dallas Cowboys in Los Angeles because of this. So if it's the Dallas Cowboys, think about it. There used to be a team that became the Kansas City Chiefs called the Dallas Texans, right? And how perfect would it be? The Cowboys versus the Indians in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes redeeming himself, beating after losing to Tom Brady in such a horrible fashion, right? In such a horrible fashion he lost, right? And I swear to God, man, you go back and look at Patrick Mahomes and the way he looked right before he stepped on the field at that Super Bowl. He looked so just distraught and just out of it. He just looked like, oh man, like he read the script. It honestly looked like Patrick Mahomes read the script right before he stepped on the field and just said, "Frick, man, I'm about to lose in such a horrible fashion. My second Super Bowl," and he did. He didn't do anything, and he just got shut down, and it was hilarious. But look, next year, Super Bowl 56. If Patrick Mahomes goes to that Super Bowl, he'll go to his third straight Super Bowl, right? If you write out 3, it's 56. And if he wins that Super Bowl, he'll make the Chiefs 3-2 in Super Bowls, right? Chiefs is 32. NFL is also 32, I think. Yeah, NFL's 32, Chiefs is 32. They can become 3-2 in Super Bowls in LA, beating the Cowboys, right? You see how NFL's 49? Dallas is also 49. Dallas is also 13. Look at this. Look at this overlap. I apologize if you hear just nothing but laughter. I have so much family here tonight. Yeah, Dallas has 13, just like how NFL is 13, just like how NFL is 49 and Dallas is 49. But yeah, just if you want some futures, man, I would just look for the Chiefs to win Super Bowl 56. I would look for the Lakers to win this NBA Finals, and I would look for the Dodgers to win this World Series. And yeah, I honestly I have a lot more I want to talk about tonight, but I think I'm gonna cut it here. Today was a long video. Yeah, if you wanna leave me a comment about something I missed or just anything, I'm here. I am Nick Diaz, and this is Gematria. Thank you very much for listening, and